coming for some time. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we play our way. So this is the guitar tutorial and standard tuning for how to play this song, Have You Ever Seen the Rain by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Iconic song, right? Classic rock song. So what you're gonna need, this is more of a beginner lesson, but I'm gonna throw a bit of, I guess you would call intermediate chords in there for those of you who are beginners and for those of you who are a little past it. This is the accurate way to play the song, but I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to get away from, if you're a true beginner and you're barely starting out, I'm going to stay tuned because I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to how to get through the song without having to play those quote unquote complicated chords. So you're going to need 6 chords, and these 6 chords, some of them are going to be variations of the same chord, and I'll explain. So to start off, you're going to have a C chord, a G chord, an F chord, an A minor chord, a C over B, and then our final chord is going to be an A minor over G. Or if you want to be technical about it, it's an A minor 7 over G. Now I'm going to teach you the A minor over G versus the A minor 7 over G because they sound about the same. And because I want to gear this lesson towards more the beginner side, I'm going to show you guys the difference. I'm going to show you both the A minor and the A minor 7 over G, just so you guys are aware of it. But you're going to see why, you're going to see the small nuance that isn't exactly, it doesn't make that much of a difference, right? So anyways, let's get started. So to start off, for the intro, you're going to have I'm going to play it, then I'll explain it. So the very beginning, when you start singing, you're only going to have 2 chords. You're going to have a C chord and a G chord, and that's it. And up until it gets to the chorus, when you start singing, I want to know, right, that part. So that's when things change a little bit. So for the beginning, what we're going to have is just a C and a G chord. To start off, to play a C chord, what you're going to do, you're going to have a muted low E string. So the 6th string is not being played. You're going to take your ring finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the A string. You're going to take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the D. You're going to take your index finger and put it on the 1st fret of the B. So, all together. For those of you who need a top view, it looks like this. So if you're looking at the tab, it's going to be 3, 2, open, 1, open. Our next chord is going to be a G chord. So what you're going to do there is you're going to take your middle finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the low E. Take your index finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the A string. Take your ring and pinky and put it on the 3rd fret of the B and high E. All together, sounds like this. Here's a top view for those of you who need it. It looks like this. So the tablature, and again, the chord diagrams will be on the screen as I'm explaining them. So the chord diagram and the tablature would be 3, 2, open, open, 3, 3. All 6 strings. Then, when you get to the chorus, I wanna know, that part, you're gonna have, that's when the rest of the chords come to play, and after you learn this part of the chorus, you know the entire song, you can get through it. So we're gonna have an F chord. I'm gonna show you 2 ways to play it, and technically 3, but mainly 2 ways to play it. So the technical way, the actual way to play it, is it sounds like this, with the bar chord and everything, right? The shortcut way, the 3rd way, they all kind of sound the same, right? So there's a reason why I'm showing you different ways. So for those of you who are more on the intermediate side, you're probably familiar with bar chords. To play that, the actual F chord, the way it's supposed to be played, is you take your ring and pinky finger and put it on the 3rd frets of the A and the D. Take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the G. And take your index finger, you're gonna bar all 6 strings. So you're gonna, on the 1st fret. So all 6 strings are gonna be pressed down by this one finger. So, and then it would sound like this. If you find difficulty, especially when you're I guess higher up on the neck up here, when you're on the 1st fret, technically you're lower because the pitch is lower. But anyways, I'm gonna say it for physically, when you're higher on the neck it's harder to press down. I find it harder to press down to make a bar chord higher up here than it is down here. That's just my thing, right? And for you, it might be different. If you're like me and you find difficulty making bar chords in general, what I suggest you do is in the beginning, when you can practice the bar chord just itself without doing the rest of the shape and just press down all 6 strings. Making sure that they all ring out over and over again. If you feel like, let's say I'm not pressing down hard enough, if you find that it's coming out kind of muted or buzzed like that, then that means you have to press that, you have to work on your finger strength in that situation. If you're working up towards that, but you still want to play the song, the shortcut way is this. So you have your middle ring and pinky where they're supposed to be, right? On the third, the 3, 3, 2. And then instead of playing the full bar on the first fret with your index finger, just press down the B and high E with your index finger. So it would sound like this. The only thing you're not pressing down would be that low E, so make sure not to strike it. If you want to strike it, if you want to play that low E and also play the rest of the F chord this shortcut way, my third way, whenever I'm lazy or when my hand's tired of doing bar chords, I have big enough hands, so I'll put my thumb over the low E string and that's it. It would sound like this. You still get that bass from that root note. So that's our F. Our next chord is going to be a C over B. So we're going to have that same C chord shape, right? The only difference here is that now we're going to move this ring finger to the 2nd fret. So it'd be muted low E string, 2nd on the A, 2nd on the D, open, 1st on the B, and open high E string. So it would sound like this. So here's a C. C over B. Slight difference, but you're combining a C chord and a B chord. And our final 2 chords are going to be the A minor over G, or A minor 7 over G. So let me explain. So the A minor, what you're going to do there is you're going to have a muted low E string. You're going to have an open A string. Take your middle finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the D string. Take your ring finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the G string, and take your index finger and put it on the 1st fret of the B string. So it would sound like this. Now the A minor over G, all that is that what I do is I either put my pinky on the 3rd fret of the low E, or if you want to save your pinky for to stretch a chord or something like that, you can also put your thumb over that low E. For this case, I use my pinky because it's a little more of a stretch if I use my thumb. Now, the actual technical chord is going to be an A minor 7 over G. And all that is, you have this A minor shape, right? And all you do is lift your ring finger, and that's an A minor 7 right there. A minor 7. And then if you add the A minor 7 over G, what you're going to put your pinky on that 3rd fret of the low E. So it would sound like this. So here's an A minor over G. A minor 7 over G, just like this. It's a slight nuance, but that's how it sounds. So I'm going to show you guys a demonstration. You have a recap of a review of what we're going to do. So here's a review of the 6 chords slowly, and then we'll go full speed. So you have a C, G chord, F chord, C chord, C over B, A minor, A minor over G. Full speed. I'm going to transition from the intro part or the verses to the chorus. It doesn't flow correctly with the song, but just to show you guys what it would sound like if you play it both sections. So you have your intro, G chord, F chord, G chord, C chord, C over B, A minor, Now I'm going to play it one more time so you got the chorus part so you guys see, hear the chords in full speed. So start from the top, where it says I Want to Know. And then the end of the song, where when you hear like a bass line play out, what you're gonna do is, it sounds like this. What I do there, this might not be tab accurate to like the actual how the songs actually play. That's just how I'm hearing it. It might be, but it'll help you guys out. So what I do is I put my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. Then I put my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Then I do ring finger on the 3rd fret of the low E, and then middle finger on the 2nd fret of the low E. Open low E, C chord. One more time. 3, 2, 3, 2, open, C chord. And that's the end of the song. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. And if you guys have any more song requests or song suggestions, I'd be happy to hear them. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. And if you guys can subscribe, that helps me out a lot. And I appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you.